Welcome to our first ever pre-recorded battle report. We've got Adam against Rob, Sisters against Harlequins. This is going to be a 40k battle report in under 30 minutes with all the key moments of the game discussed and commented on, along with end of turn reviews from both the players. While you're here, please like and subscribe. We've got loads of content to come. We've got podcasts every Monday, tournament streams, and lots more of these battle reports. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe. Let's hear from the players about the list.
So I have got 2,000 points of Sisters. We got the main folks. We got Morven. We got the Triumph. Got Palatine and the Dialogus. The Palatine and Dialogus are going to go with Squad of Battle Sisters to make a pretty tasty combo. Also on my list, I've got a couple of Exorcists, bring in some sort of mid-range firepower, indirect anti-vehicle. I've got an Immolator for a little bit of transport and a bit of mobility, and some fire. Also got 2 units of Arco-Flagellants, which are going to be in 2 Rhinos, and they're going to come out and swing their wiggly arms around and hopefully murder a load of elves, basically. And that is my list. Oh, and the Calidus, who's going to be uppy-downing and just, you know, chilling out and appearing out of the shadows. I've got another battle tank. I've got a Castigator. And I have, obviously, Morven Vol's posse of Paragon Warsuits, who are going to come and melt stuff, basically.
Only one person can play the good guy, so I decided to play the evil Aeldari today. I'm playing a version of Quins, actually, which is 3 units of troops with all the fun stuffs. 2 of them are led by troop masters, which give them devastating wounds. And I have one with Spirit Seer for some advance and charge goodness. You don't leave home without the old Incarn. I know it's not very Quins based, but we needed some power in this army. 3 transports for those troop units to go in. I have a Solitaire and a Death Jester. Then I have Yvraine with her big bodyguard of 11 Quins, just to make the army a bit more themed. And then I've got 3 units of bikes. So it's a very lightweight, fast army. We'll see how it does into the Sisters.
Yeah, so, take that.
The mission we're playing, actually, we're playing Vital Ground.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why there's no objective in the middle here. We're playing Secret Intel, and in case it wasn't obvious, we're playing Dawn of War. Vital Ground is 2 for your home objective, 5 for the middle objectives, and then 6 for your opponent's objective. And then Secret Intel is a really fun one, and we'll demonstrate it, where you draw 3 cards in the start of your turn, and then you have to discard 1.
Okay, here we go. It's Rob's first turn. He gets Cleanse, Area Denial, and Deploy Teleporter Homers. He discards Deploy Teleporter Homers, and he keeps Cleanse and Area Denial. He then pushes up with the Star Weaver, a Void Weaver, and a couple of the bikes. Adam does think about an Overwatch on that left-hand side for a minute, but then decides it's not a good use of his CP. Line of sight's not amazing, gives up on that. Rob pushes up on that right-hand side, same thing again with a Void Weaver and a Star Weaver. All those Star Weavers have 4 units in them. You can kind of see there's a guy on top riding it to demonstrate that, and you'll get a better view in a second when I do the roaming camera. In that top central objective that you can't see, there's a Death Jester, and he also has another model up there. He has a Solitaire. Pops the red out a little bit later on in the game. The Incarn's in the top left-hand corner underneath his many fate dice. Rob does a little bit of shooting here. The bike shooting to the Immolator. Gets 1 hit. I think he does 3 dev wounds on an Immolator. You see Adam mark that down to 8. The Void Weaver also fires a Haywire Cannon. Does 3 more dev wounds, takes him down to 5. And then on the right hand side, same again. So same sort of shots into the Rhino, does 3 dev wounds, takes it down to 7. So quite an aggressive turn. Rob pushing pretty hard on both of those objectives. Secondary wise, really good. Scores him 10 on his secondaries. So a strong first turn on secondaries. A very aggressive board position from Rob, giving Adam lots to think about. So let's see what Adam does. Okay, so over to Adam. He got Area Denial, Extend Battle Lines, and Capture Enemy Outpost, which is an awful card to draw at the beginning. It's often an awful card to draw, full stop. So he ends up discarding that, keeping Area Denial and Extend Battle Lines. He then gives quite a bit of thought to what does he do on this left-hand flank. How does he get this objective off Rob and not put himself in a daft position. So that unit, the sister of battle unit, jumps out of the Rhino and just toes in on the objective basically to flip it off Rob. The Immolator comes up, but then Adam's thinking, oh, hang on, if I shoot that, all your boys are going to jump out and you're going to flip the objective back off me. So he's quite careful in his shooting phase. I'm just going to pass over to them so you can listen about a really important combo that Sisters of Battle have that is definitely worth highlighting.
The Wombi combi.
So this is a combo you want to note down, okay?
Yeah, this is a good combo. So
What's it actually called?
it's called the Wombo combo.
There's no name.
There's no name for it. So basically, the Palatine, this lady, she gives lethal hits, right?
Yeah.
And the Dialogus, the lady chanting with all of her text, this lady, she allows you to turn any miracle dice into a 6. And the Triumph allows you to use... Do you want me to slow down?
No, I think I'll keep going. It's becoming familiar.
Makes sense. And then the Triumph allows you to use as many miracle dice as you want. So I can just pump lower miracle dice, 2 6s, straight through it. Here's 2 saves.
Okay, Wombo combo, what a pair of characters. Alright, so just give you a little in-depth shot of what's going on. There's a troop unit, jumped out of the Skyweaver, another Skyweaver at the back. You can see the Solitaire's kind of just hidden in the next piece of terrain there next to Skyweaver. Then over on this right hand flank, got a Skyweaver, a Void Reaver. There's the Fate dice and the Incarn at the back, and then a couple of bikes. And then over on that side, you can just see the edge of that Rhino. And then that's Rob's stuff. On the left hand side, that's all Rob's stuff that's in reserve. So yeah, strong push down each flank. A little bit of power in the middle, ready to pop out and just watch that centre zone. Death Jester back at the centre there. Okay, let's go back to that top-down view and see what Adam does. So on this right-hand flank, he just jumps out a Battle Sisters squad. And then he also advances a Triumph of St. Catherine, what a name, up onto the objective. I'm just going to pass over to the players again. On these battle reports that we do, we're always going to like highlight a few key bits that happen in the turn, just like a key stratagem or tactic. This here is Phantasm, so I'm just going to pass over.
That would be a 9 to get to the other side of the objective.
Yeah, she ain't charging because she advanced.
No, I know. I was thinking... So what I'm thinking is I can put enough OC with Phantasm onto this objective.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I do just live.
Yeah.
It's whether or not this because that would then... What that then does is entices you to make a charge.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course, yeah.
If I don't do that, I'm going to sacrifice the primary and then I will get the initiative and just charge you and wipe that unit out. I think. Okay? So, do I want to Phantasm? And the other question is, she's not got any assault things, right?
She ain't shooting nothing or doing anything.
Isn't shooting nothing. So I am going to Phantasm, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this girl out here.
Okay.
Okay, so she's outside of 12.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
What's that called again?
The Solitaire.
Yeah.
So that when I blitz,
Oh yeah, you can.
I
just
have
come
the
in.
option, if I kill this tank,
Yeah.
I'm going to double blitz and just go for it.
Yeah,
Just
cool.
wipe that whole block out.
Yeah, cool.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty aggressive use of the Phantasm there to push that centre and bring the Solitaire out. I think Adam at this point realised, okay, yeah, next turn's going to get pretty spicy down this right-hand flank. But the Triumph of St. Catherine is a tanky model and can come back with the mechanic that she has, so she can kind of stick around. And Adam thought, I've kind of got enough here to just hold this side. He was quite happy with it. So there's a decent bit of shooting as well on this right-hand flank. Adam's Exorcist killed the Void Weaver. What that did allow him, Rob, to do there was to bring the Incan up. So the Incan went from that back left side to suddenly appear on the right flank. And that is pretty much turn.
Yeah, I mean,
Back to the players.
my turn 1 was fine. I basically staged for this turn.
Yeah, I think you scored really well turn 1 as well. I think set up nicely. I think I removed the main
Anti-tank.
which is going to make it a bit of a struggle for you to deal with the 2 Exorcists and the Rhinos currently, but you do have bikes in reserves that can come in and do the thing, but they can't one-shot one of those vehicles, so which sort of gives me a bit of confidence in that. But the Incarn's terrifying, so if she can one-shot a vehicle, definitely.
I've got a load of fusion pistols.
And you got a load of fusion pistols, so yeah.
I think this next turn is going to be brutal for both of us.
Yeah, I think we're going to lose.
This is going to be a bloodbath in this turn.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I'm not going to get a lot primary, you're not going to get a lot primary.
No.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see what happens. Cool.
Okay, here we go. Both pretty confident at this stage, aren't they, those boys? They're confident it's going to be a bloody turn, which it does turn out to be in fairness to him. So Rob got behind enemy lines, extend battle lines, and no prisoners. He decided to get rid of behind enemy lines. Here's just a camera. There's a Triumph and the Rhino. These are real nice, nicely painted sisters from Adam. Got like a Dark Angels green to them that look great. There's the Incarnate. Showed its face. There's some real smooth camera work from me. Look at this. I've got a future guys in the movie industry. Oh, there's Rob's crotch. There you go, Rob. It's a bit of a cheeky shot for you. There's the Incarn again, right in front of the Triumph. You've got another Starweaver in the middle of a big troop unit. Oh, Rob just dismantling that Starweaver there. Oh no, that's a troop unit getting out. So that troop unit's going to get out on that top left-hand objective. And there's a cheeky boy that he did the Phantasm off in the middle. So that there is the Solitaire that came flying out and now is stood in the middle of the board. So Rob disembarks troops on the left-hand flank, disembarks troops on the right. In comes the Starweaver. There's his, let's say, extend battle lines and no prisoners and missions that he took. And then down come the bikes. So these bad boys were in reserves. Came flying in on that right-hand side. So Rob really pressures this right-hand side. A lot of his game plan kind of hinged on this really strong right-hand push and whether Adam could weather it. They're the bikes. Quite incredible technology on these bikes. They're driverless Tesla bikes, which the Aeldari are trying out to quite a high degree of success, I think. There's another one. Do not need driving. Okay, so a lot happened in this turn. It was a very aggressive turn from Rob. Lots of shooting, lots of charges, lots of chaos. On this right-hand side, there was a combination of fusion pistols and some of the shots from the bikes that popped that Rhino, and out of the Rhino came a bunch of Arco-Flagellants. That top left-hand side that you just saw there by the Fate dice, Adam rapid ingressed some of his Seraphim sisters. So there's the Arco-Flagellants that jumped out of the Rhino. There's an Incarn staring him down. There's his troop unit ready to go flying into those Battle Sisters on the Triumph of Saint Catherine. That takes a bit of a pasting from shooting. I think it ended up, there's like 12 damage that went through Adam. After roll 12, feel no pains, only passed a couple, and eventually just got whittled down to nothing. The charge phase, right hand side, that what's remains of that Battle Sister squad is looking in trouble. On this left hand side, he actually tank shocked. So the Starweaver did a tank shock and blew up the Immolator on that left hand side, just absolutely shunted it. So they must have had to have disabled the Tesla systems there just so it could do a collision, because we know what the Tesla AI is like. It's never up for a decent crash, is it? It's quite sensible. So Rob just then tried to move back onto the objective to kind of keep some strong OC on there. That right hand side combat went very strongly in the way of Rob, killed the squad. There was a character that Adam had in there that does actually come back and do a little bit of damage. It was Palatine. I always want to call her Palpatine, but that's not her name, is it? Palatine. So she died, but Adam spent the CP to bring her back. And she came back and did a little bit, killed a few boys, but nothing to write home about. Okay, so on this right-hand side, the combat, is going quite heavily in Rob's favour. The Incarn is such a stressful model to play against. I'll get the card up and we'll just chat about it in a second, because this game really is a good demonstration of the manoeuvrability and power of that. Look at these guys as well, knocking my dice cam. I said to them, please be careful with the dice cam. No, they got to smash it to smithereens. So combat-wise on this right-hand side, it's fairly, goes as expected. That Adam really loses quite a lot on that back right-hand corner. And you're looking at the board now and you think, oh man, Harlequins have really pushed deep, got really good control over both flanks. Adam has lost a lot of stuff, but he's got a chunk in reserve. And sisters, sisters can weather the storm. That's what they're all about. They're about, gritting the teeth, getting through it and coming back strong. So let's have a quick look at the Incarn model. So frustrating to play. Inevitable death. Once per phase, if this model is on the battlefield when another unit is destroyed, just after removing the last model in that unit, you can remove this model from the battlefield and set it up again as close as possible to where the destroyed model was and not within engagement range of any enemy models. Great ability. Great ability. So it can be really unpredictable, fly around the board, and if there's one thing you want to do in a game of 40k, it's kill your opponent's models. Okay, that was a big turn for Rob, but can Adam reply in kind? Doesn't look like he's got a lot on the board, but just wait till his reserves come in and the board looks a little bit greener than it did previously. So secondary-wise, Adam draws Assassination, deploy Teleporter Homer, and engage on all fronts. He keeps deploy Teleporter Homer and engage in all fronts. He's got those Seraphim in that top left-hand corner that he rapid ingress last turn, which move round to have a little peek into Rob's top objective. His Miracle Dice, yeah, he got a couple of 6s. The Crusader squad uses the Miracle Dice to go 6 to make sure he gets engage, because he needs to engage in all fronts, so he uses that over there. Just tinkering on that left-hand side. That's a Crusader squad that are just making sure he can go up and get engage. He's just checking a few measurements for his shooting. It's his Rhino. It's got like a Hunter Killer. So this is where it gets a little bit tastier. As Adam now starts to drop in all these units that he's had in strategic reserves. There's another Seraphim squad that come down here. There's a little take back, which I'm not going to make a big thing of, because I know everybody gets really angry at me every time I mention bloody take backs. Don't really mean it, guys. I see the value in them. They're great, especially if you make an awful mistake on a game that is streamed on a channel. Okay, here we go. So look at all this stuff that comes down now from Adam. He brings down such cool models, these units that drop onto the table. I love them so much. They're a reason to play Sisters of Battle. He brings in the Paragon Warsuits. So you can see they just come down on that central back objective. And he brings down Morvine Val as well, who is Warlord and is leading that unit. So they come down in that center objective, obviously ready to have the time of their lives, sit there and do a bunch of shooting at all those juicy targets that are sat on that right hand flank. It is, as I mentioned, he's got that Seraphim squad that have come down as well. That Rhino's kind of moved up. There's lots of shooting here for Adam. Morvan shoots at the Yinkan, does 1 damage, takes down to 11. The Melters then shoot at her, doing 3 damage. A Hunter Killer missile then fires at her, but she saves it. An Exorcist Hunter Killer missile, but he then saves on the... Oh no, he failed the invuln and took her down to 4 actually. Then the Castigator versus the Yinkan took her down to 2 before another Hunter Killer missile, but then Rob uses Fate Dice to ensure he passed the invuln. So all in all that shooting eventually took her down to 1. Immolator shot at a Starweaver, killed it, and then inside one of the Eldars didn't manage to skip out in time and exploded. There was also a really small take back where Rob reminded, actually the Yinkan stayed alive, but then Rob reminded that he could have just used the grenade stat, so they just did the grenade stat, which finished it off. And like I said, the Immolator shot the Starweaver. That's what you've seen happen on that left-hand flank. And then we see the take back where the Yinkan then died. In the charge phase, the Seraphim charged the Starweaver. That got the objective back to Adam, which I think also helped him. Oh no, it didn't help him with engaging all fronts, he had that anyway, but it kind of flipped that objective, took it off Rob, so they go flying in and kill the Starweaver. Palatine kills 5 with the Blade of St. Eleanor on that right hand side. She comes back and adds the time of her life. A decent turn from Adam, scores 10 on secondary, but also like just a good demonstration of power of strategic reserves and how having a lot of stuff off the board can be a very, very powerful tactic. But anyway, let's get back to the players and see what they think of their round 2.
So this is end of turn 2.
Yeah.
Devastation.
Yeah, I think you're probably didn't lose as much as maybe I'd like. I think killing the Incarn was really big though.
Yeah.
Just as important because you took my Triumph, so I think that's like tit for tat, and it's like the same sort of thing. I think you're probably in quite a good position still.
I think I'm only gonna get 2 primary this turn, and you're gonna get probably 5.
Yeah, because I don't think you're not that unit is not leaving there now, so that's always mine. And
right.
I think the problem I've got now though is I've got, like, you committed loads here, I committed loads back there to be able to shoot the Incarn. So like now I've got quite a bit of stuff in my...
I think I'm coming for you, bro.
I think so. I think you're coming to me, which is fine because then I don't have to go as far.
All right.
Okay, so Rob's turn 3. He gets Assassinate, Defend Stronghold, and Investigate Signals. He discards Investigate Signals, keeping Assassinate and Defend Stronghold. The bikes here fly down the right hand flank and do mortal wounds to that Sisters battle squad. Once they finish their move though, Morvine does overwatch them. The overwatch, as you'll see, kills one of the bikes. So, not a terrible overwatch. I'll just take a look at the roaming cam so you can see those lovely war suits at the back. That overwatch shot there just reduced those bike numbers. You've still got that troop just hanging on that right hand flank. There we go, that's what's left of the bikes after the overwatch. Got those little troop boys just charging across the middle, hoping to get in and kill some of those Baragon war suits. Now we go through to the charge phase for Rob. Got the troop comes flying into Morvine and their war suits from the top and out of that ruin to the bottom right hand side. So these girls all come, well, girls and boys, they are Aeldari after all, come flying in, do a decent bit of damage, kind of wipe that unit, take it down to just Morvine. There's a bit of shooting beforehand, as you can see, killed one of the war suits, and then they all come flying in. In this combat, Morvine does kill Solitaire, so the war suits do take a bit of a pounding, but Morvine does strike back and kill Solitaire in that combat. And then it flips back over to Adam's turn. So a decent turn from Rob, but there's still a lot of points of Sisters in that back centre. The Sisters really showing their resilience. The left flank, which was always a kind of light push from Rob, has collapsed. The right flank's, you know, still got a lot of units and strength on that side, but that centre and left flank of Adams just looks so much stronger, and he's kind of holding up. Rob got 5 points on his secondaries though, so it put him up to 32, which included his painting score, which both of them obviously got, whereas Adam's on 27. Adam's missions, he got Cleanse, Defend Stronghold, and Investigate Signals. He got rid of Investigate Signals, kept Cleanse and Defend Stronghold. He then moved the Rhino up to that objective so that it could cleanse. The Arco boys, the Flagellant men, they did a Miracle Dice run just to kind of charge up that left hand side, and then he kind of dropped back to make sure he just gets Defend Stronghold. So this was really where the game sort of wrapped up, because the Castigator finished off the bike, so the Castigator shoots over on those bikes on the right hand flank. I think the Exorcist, well, the Castigator killed the bikes and the Exorcist killed the Starweaver. So that kind of just completely collapses that right flank, and then the Castigator charges the unit on the back objective in a second. So that kind of just is such a devastating turn. Adam's reserves coming on just give him so much power in that back corner. And it was a really interesting game. It was a good example of what like a hard flank push looks like with a fast, aggressive army. It's just Sisters are so good at weathering that storm, and because Adam kept a lot off the table, that kind of central reinforcement, because Robert pushed so hard down that right hand flank, he just ended up really, really exposed. If you look on that right hand side of the table, there's just a bit of a killing zone where a lot of Rob's resources ended, so Adam kind of countered that hard right flank push by just deploying his reserves centrally and holding that right hand side. But it was a really interesting game. It was great to see Harlequins, and as always, great to see Sisters. And good to watch these two play as well. They're both really, really good players, do lots of events, lots of tournaments, both good, tight, competitive players. So it was good to watch them showcase both their armies, the Harlequins. Summary as to why that might be, but thanks so much for watching. I'm going to hand back over to the players.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, great game.
Amazing.
I think
just run out of assets.
I think so, and I think actually realising that over here for Cleanse, using the Rhino and just pressing these Arcos up to be like, cool, like you've only got a Death Jester and this here.
We should probably make it clear. We're calling the game at the end of tab 3. It's the writing's on the wall. I've only got 2 units left. He's going to just max out loads of primary. He's going to get loads of secondary.
Yeah.
I'm probably not scoring primary again. I'm probably not scoring You know, maybe another secondary.
Maybe another secondary, but I don't. Yeah, but at that point you get 8 if you get that, and then obviously here, you know, I'm going to get the higher primary on this, and it's just going to. We'll end up in the 90s or whatever. But there's no, you know, we're not scoring it, so it doesn't. There's no point.
We had some really fun moments.
We did, yeah. We had some ridiculous moments. What do you reckon your MVP is?
I mean,
like, how did you find playing Harlequins? Like, what did you?
I think I enjoyed them. I feel like I need a few more troop units and less of like the the anti-tank stuff.
Yeah, I think if you got rid of less Void Weavers and like more bikes, I really like the bikes. I think they were okay. I think like maybe bring them on hit. I think where we were saying like where we overcommitted.
Yeah, like we did a mega overcommit there.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my heart, I wish I didn't have to bring the Yincon. Okay.
And just like pure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
That's
and I think
fair.
the problem is if you get like, you know, 5 units of stuff in the in 5 transports, or sorry, 6 transports, 6 units.
Yeah.
You don't really have enough points left to build an army.
Yeah, no, of course. Of course. I think the struggle here as well was obviously didn't matter where you went with your transports. My exorcists were always just gonna just shoot them. But
I love the fact that you use a grenade strat.
Yeah. yeah. Sister's favourite strat.
Yeah.
But no, I've been really enjoying playing Sisters, and they're a lot of fun. They are a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see what the book holds eventually.
Yes, mate.
You know,
me both.
but no, great game.
Yeah, nice one, mate.
Yeah, nice one, mate.